Good evening. This is Pat at Pat's Card Corner, and glad you are joining me tonight. I missed last week because I had a little surgery on my ankle, and turn the sound down. And I couldn't get into my craft room. I am in here tonight, yay. Just didn't seem right not being able to be crafting, and I missed it. So anyway, I'm glad you're joining me tonight. I have something special since I missed last week. Tonight we are actually making 2 cards with the supplies that I posted earlier today. If you missed it, I'm going to go over all the supplies, all the measurements, everything, and then I'll post them again later in the comments. Hey Cruz, glad you're joining me. So we're just going to get started and hop right on in. So we are going to be making 2 cards with all these supplies. I am using this stamp set. It's called Berry Blessings. It's one of the stamp sets that you can get for free along with an entire pack of paper as part of the celebration that's going on right now with Stampin' Up. And I'm going to show you a picture of it because I can't get up, and I have a little scooter over here. You can't see it because it's off camera, but I can't roll over there and go get it, the paper, so, but it's really cute. I got to find it here in the catalog. There it is. So there we are. So this is the stamp set that you get, and these are all the papers. They have strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, black raspberries. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and with a $100 purchase, you can get both this whole set of paper. It's double-sided, so you get 2 of every sheet, plus this stamp set. And now we're going to be off and going. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to tell you all the supplies that you're going to need. So first, you're going to need 1 piece of cardstock that matches your designer series paper. This is Night of Navy. It is 8.5 by 11, and we're going to do a little bit of cutting and scoring with this to make it the right size. Then you also need a piece of designer series paper. You can use whatever you want. You will see both sides, so you're going to want to pick a paper that you like both sides. I really like the berries on here, and I love this like lattice pattern on the other side. Because some of the pieces, we are going to cut this also. Some of the pieces will be flipped over, so you're going to see the reverse side. So you need to make sure that you like both sides of your paper. So I'm going to move that up here. So that piece is 6 by 6. You're going to need a piece of, my paper's stuck together here. Yeah, that's not it. Oh no, don't lose it. Okay, you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white, and these are 2.5 by 5 1/4, so you need 2 of those. You're going to need, I'm going to move these over out of the way here for a sec. You're going to need another piece of Whisper White. This piece is 3.5 by 5 1/4. You need 1 more piece of, I think I said Whisper White, basic white. That's the new white. Stampin' Up! Had Whisper White for years and years, but the manufacturer went out of business due to COVID-related issues, so we now have new paper, and it's called Basic White, and I keep forgetting. You know, after saying it for a couple years, you kind of just, your mind goes crazy. You'll need 1 more piece of Basic White, which is 3 by 3.5. I know, I love this paper too, Judith. It's one of my favorites. And then you're going to need another piece of cardstock that matches whatever your base cardstock is. This is Night of Navy. This is 3.5 by 2 1/4. 2 1/4 this way, 3.5 this way. And then you're going to need, I picked another coordinating color that went with my paper. And this is 3 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And I did have an optional piece on my, I didn't write the size down though, but I can do that right now. On the list that I gave you, and that is this other piece. if you want to do a little extra layering, you don't have to. And this is 3 1/8 by, is that right? Yeah. By, oh no, 2 3/8, sorry, by 2 1/8. I'll get it right. I'm dividing in my head as I'm thinking. That piece is 3 3/8 by 2 1/8. You don't have to have that piece. I just did a little bit of extra layering on my card when we did that. So these are all the supplies you're going to need. I'm going to leave that here just for a second in case you want to take a little snapshot. You want to write it down real quick. When you go back, you know, to look at it. And while you're doing that, I'm going to answer Cruz's question. She wanted to know how Basic White compares to Whisper White. They are pretty much almost the same. If you have them side by side, the Whisper White and the Basic White, I don't have them both with me, but the Basic White is just a little bit brighter white than the Whisper White. If you don't have them side by side, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, but if they're side by side, the Basic White is just a little bit of a brighter white, and the finish is pretty much the same texture as the other one. They did a really good job of trying to get the same quality of paper. Because if you know anything about Stampin' Up and their paper, they really have very good quality, and the white paper, which you stamp on the most, is actually made for stamping. The surface of it is very, very smooth, so you get a really clean image when you're stamping than if you maybe buy some of the other ones that are in the big box stores. They're not quite as smooth, and you won't get a good of an image when you're stamping. So anyway, so here's all your pieces. I'm just going to move these out of the way, and we're going to do a little cutting. So you're going to need your cardstock, because that's what we're going to cut first. And I guess I'll show you the cards we're going to make. Huh, wouldn't that be fun? Just so you can see kind of where we're going to be going. So I'm going to move this out of the way. So these are the two cards that we're going to make. This one opens like that. It's kind of got a little Z pattern going on there. And this one just opens like this. So, so out of the one 6x6, we're going to get all these other pieces. So we're going to be doing a little cutting there too. So those are the cards. So I hope you like them. And so you're going to need your paper trimmer and your 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score it at 4 1/4. We're not cutting, we're scoring. So I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way. So we want to make sure that we're only scoring. And then we're going to turn it lengthways, and we're going to cut it at 5 1/2. This is the same way that you would cut it if you were making 2 cards. We're just going to do a little bit extra when we're done. So we're going to put it at 5 1/2, and we're just going to cut. So we're going to move one piece aside. One piece, you're going to turn it so that the long way is at the top, and you're going to put it on the 1/2 inch mark, and you're going to cut a 1/2 inch off the edge, just like that. And you can throw this piece away, or you can save it for something else. So now we have a little bit shorter. So when we fold this one in half, you can see it's a little bit shorter on the edge here, but we're going to be decorating that with some paper, so it's okay. All right, we're going to set that aside. And the other piece, we are going to do a little bit of scoring, and we're going to score this at, and I gotta make sure I get it correct because we don't want to get it wrong. Yep, okay. We're going to score it at 1 1/2. I wanted to say 2 1/2, and I thought, no, that's way too big. 1 1/2, so you're going to put your paper at 1 1/2, and we're scoring, not cutting. So move your cutting blade out of the way, and we're just going to score it like that. And And then we can move this out of the way just for a second. So this piece is going to be folded in half, just like a regular card. And then where we scored it, we're just going to fold it back the other direction. And let me get my, yep, I did bring my bone folder. So we're just going to give it a good crease here. And we're going to crease it there. So this is the one that kind of opens like a little bit like a Z. So now we have both of our both of our cardstock pieces. So this one has a 1/2 inch cut off the side, and this one we scored it again at 1.5 to give it that extra fold. Okay, so now I'm going to set these aside, and we're going to bring back our trimmer, and we're going to do some cutting on our designer series paper. If you have, this piece doesn't have a real pattern as far as up and down. If yours does, then you want to place it so that the up and down is going vertical. And then you're going to turn it one turn, because we're going to do some trimming, which would be off the bottom. So if this, you had a direction like stripes, this would be the bottom. So we're going to cut some off the bottom. So we're going to cut 1/4 inch off the bottom. So we're going to, this is cutting, not scoring. So we're going to cut 1/4 inch. And then this piece, we're just going to turn it and we're going to cut it in half. So this is 6 inches. This piece was 6 inches by 6 inches. So this is now 1/4 inch by 6, and we're going to cut it into 2 equal pieces. So we're going to cut it right at 3 inches, which is right there. So now we have 2 small pieces. So you can set those aside. Just put them right over here. And then the same piece, we're leaving it the same direction. We're going to cut a 1/2 inch off the side, off one end. So this is a 1/2 inch. Just going to cut that off. We're leaving it the same way. Turn that there. Then we're going to turn it back the other way. So if you had a pattern, your up and down pattern is now going this way. And we're going to cut this at 3.5. So you want to put it at 3.5. So we're going to cut that at 3.5. So this piece is now 3.5 by 5.25. Set that aside, and then this piece is 2.5, should be 2.5 inches wide is what's left, and we're actually going to cut it in half. So you're going to cut it at the 1 1/4 inch mark. So we're going to have 2 equal sized pieces. There we go, just like that. And those are all the pieces we need for our cards. Okay, I'll move my trimmer out of the way here. All right, so we're going to do the one with the little Z fold part first. So for that card, we need these 2 pieces of our paper, and the other 3 are going to go with your other card. So I'm just going to put those to the side. I'm just going to tuck them inside my other card base so I have them ready. And then you're also going to need, for this card, you're going to need your piece that's 3.5 by 2.25. You're going to need, is that right? Yeah, you're going to need, I'm questioning myself. Actually, no, I'm not. I need these 2. Sorry. You're going to need the 2 pieces that are 2.5 by 5.25. So your 2 Whisper white pieces, and then you need your one more little white piece. Where'd he go? Uh-oh. Did I lose him? Nope, there he is. Then you're also going to need your white piece that's 3.25 by 2. I might have left this out before. It wasn't sitting where all the other ones were. So you might want to check and make sure you have that. That's white. So, okay. I'm going to scoot these over here. So these 2 pieces we're going to put on first. Put that over here. And one piece is going to go on the outside of this little flap. So if you had your card opened up, it would go on this side of the flap, and this piece is going to go on this end over here. And when you put this one on, you are going to leave a little bit of an edge even all the way around, top, side, and bottom. So, hey Julie. Put a little glue on there. Put my thing right there. So these are really easy cards to make, and you get to make 2 cards all as one thing. And then this piece, just going to flip it over. A little squiggle on there. And it's going to be attached right to here. When I was doing this with my stampers on Sunday night, I forgot to give them, we also need ribbon, and I forgot to have them put the ribbon on their card. So we're actually going to put some on tonight though. Except for, I don't think I had my ribbon. Hold on. Let me see if I can reach it without killing myself. Yep. There's my ribbon. Sorry about that. I can't go very far. I can only hop around a little bit. So this piece, which I barely have enough here, you're going to wrap it around here. So you can, it's going to wrap all the way around, and then you're just going to tie it in a bow. Got to the end of my ribbon spool here. So it's going to go, whoop. You want the bow to be at the top, so it actually would help if I did it this way. I'm going to cut a little piece off because I need a piece for my other card. See if that'll work. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully I'll have enough to tie a bow with. We're going to see. Okay, and because this is kind of slippery ribbon, I am going to put a little glue dot underneath to hold my ribbon down. As soon as I find my hands. So I'm just going to take one off my little thing here. Kind of figure out where I want it. Which is, gotta turn it this way. It's about there. Just going to put this underneath, and got my ribbon twisted here. Hey, I'm all fingers and thumbs here. There we go. So you can see the glue dot is going to hold it in place while I try and tie a bow with this teeny little piece of ribbon I got here. Cruz always teases me about my perfect bows, but this one is probably not going to be perfect. But it'll work. There we go. Pull the ends a little bit. There we go. Good enough. Okay. And now we need the 2 white pieces. These are the ones that are 2.5 by 5 1/4, and they're just going to go just like this. If you wanted to, and if you had some extra paper that you wanted to cut, you can cut another piece of your designer series paper and use the opposite side. I did that in the other card that I showed you, which is somewhere around here. So I did that on this one. I just cut another piece so I could put the other side in the middle. But you don't have to. You can just decorate. If you want, you can actually stamp on this one and decorate it. And we might just do that in a minute. I probably should have done that before I glued it down, but that's okay. And then the other piece is going to go on the other side. And you do kind of want to line it up. Yeah, that's a little crooked, isn't it? Yep, it is. Hold on. Or it gets stuck here. Let me fix that. There we go. It's looking a little not quite straight. And there's your card folded up, and now we're going to do the put together the piece that goes on the front. This is the piece that has the sentiment on it. It's going to stamp on it, and then this is just going to go right here on the card, just like that. Oop, let me move it down. So I'm going to do a little stamping, and this is the stamp set. So I'm going to put a little sentiment on it, and then just stick a couple blueberries and some leaves on it. I already took them off. I forgot. I did. There we go. So I'm going to stamp mine in Night of Navy, because that's the color of my cardstock. Just going to kind of ink this up. I need to re-ink my stamp pad, but hopefully it's going to work. I am going to put it off to one side so that I can do a little bit of stamping over on the other side. You can put it wherever you want. You can put it in the middle. If you have a bigger saying, you can put it right in the middle. And I'm just going to stamp some leaves over here. And so the leaves that come with this set, there's actually two stamps. So one does like an outline. I'm going to say the stamp. So one does a little outline, and then the other one fills in the color. I like to do the fill in the color part first and then do the outline second. I don't think it makes any difference. Sometimes I think then you get a little bit of darker where the little veins on the leaves are and stuff. It gets to be a little darker. So get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So, and because these leaves are kind of big, they're kind of going to go off the paper a little bit, but that's okay. So we're just going to get them on as good as I can. There's one. And then this is the other one that has more of the outline. And because these are photopolymer stamps, you can see right through them, so you can see right where you're stamping. Oops, I got mine a little crooked, but that's all right. And then we're going to put a couple blueberries on here too. So I'm going to get my, I'm going to clean my stamp off real quick though, as soon as I find my thing here. Let's get some of the ink off my, otherwise I know I'm going to stick my hand in it, and that would be bad. I was stamping earlier and I got red ink all over my hand, and I think some of it's still there. Okay, let's close this up. And the blueberries are the same way as the leaves. There's a little like outline. Whoops, that wasn't good. Let me wipe that off. Don't drop your stamp in your stamp pad. I'm going to do the outline first and you'll see. So I'm just going to kind of line it up where it should be connected. So you can see the little outline. And then this stamp is going to fill it in. And there you go. Nice. You can tell it's getting nice and clean because it's squeaking. All right, I'll close this up, and then we're just going to attach this piece onto here. Just going to do a little, since I have my glue out, I'm just going to use that. kind of slid around there a little bit when I moved it. There we go. And then this is just going to go right there. So you only want to put glue right, or adhesive, whatever you're using, right where it goes onto this little flap right here. If you put glue all the way to the ends and put it down, you're going to glue your card closed and you won't be able to open it. So what I like to do is I like to flip it upside down, kind of put it where I want it, so I know not to put glue any farther over than where this middle flap is. So I'm just going to put some glue right there, just kind of hold it in place, try not to get it on the ribbon. And then I'm just going to turn it, flip it over, and when I put it down, it'll be glued right where I want it. There we go. And you can see I can still open my card and I didn't glue it closed. So there you go. There's one card. And if you want, you can decorate. You can also put a sentiment on the inside. You can do a little decorating on here. I could maybe stamp some leaves or something on there. But there's card number 1. Okay, so let's get to card number 2. So this is our second card. This is the piece that we cut the little edge off of. And for this you will need your 3.5 by 5 1/4. You're going to need your 2 strips that are 3 inches by 1/4 inch, and your 1 strip that's a 1/2 inch by 6. We're actually going to cut a little bit off of there. And then you also need a 3.5 by 5 1/4 Whisper White piece. And you're going to need, this is the Granny Apple Green, this is the 3 by 3 1/4. You're going to need this piece and your other white piece, and that one was 3 by 3 1/2. So that should be all the pieces that you had. And let's get started putting this together. Let's take that off. So for this card, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this long strip and we're going to put it right here all the way on the edge. It is going to hang over, but we're just going to cut that little piece off. It's easier to do it that way, so that way you know that your designer series paper is going all the way down. So I'm just going to this way. You're going to want to put it right next to the edge. I'm using the multi-purpose glue because I can slide it around and get it right to the edge if I want. And then I'm just going to trim the edges. So I'm just going to flip it over and just trim this piece right off. I actually hung over a little bit on the other side too. So, but that's okay. Just going to trim that off just a teeny bit. There we go. And there you go. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of Whisper White. It's going to go right there, right next to it. And you can see there's an even amount of space here, and this is where the card folds. You got an even space there too. You know, I was talking about this the other night. Here I have a piece of Whisper White. It's the same on both sides. I don't know why I have to flip it over like this is a wrong side. It's not, but it just kind of doesn't make sense to do that. But one of those silly things. So this is just going to go right there. You can, if you want to stamp a sentiment on there before you put it on the inside, you can do that. Then this piece is going to go right here. So I could do it this way and have it the same as this one, or I can flip it over and have it be that way. As a matter of fact, you could have done this one the other way too. I think I'm gonna, I really like this side, so, and my other card, the other card has a lot of the other paper, so I'm gonna put glue on this side. And flip it over. kind of nice to have a little contrast between your papers. So between this flowery or blueberry paper on the end and then this one. Okay, and then now we're ready to do the front. So what we're going to do first is we're going to attach this piece to the middle. So it's going to just be glued down, but you want it even from side to side, and then you want it even from top to bottom. So when you're putting it on, just kind of make sure you kind of eyeball it so that it looks even all the way around. So you want it even side to side and about the same space top to bottom. And we're putting this one on first because these two little pieces are going to go above and below. If we put them on first, we might not get them because we want them to be able to line up with our other piece. So I am going to put these on the opposite side with the little lattice showing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there. So you don't want to waste any paper. And then you just kind of want to make sure it's about even with the with your other piece of cardstock, and kind of straight too. That's always a good thing. Have things that are straight. And then we're just going to put the other one on the top. And then we just have a little bit of stamping to do. Whoops. And then we're done with this card too. I'm just going to put that right there at the top. There we go. And then we're going to do a little stamping on this, and when we put this on, it's actually going to go on like a little angle here. So I chose another one of the sentiments from this one. It says, wishing you the very best. And that's what I'm going to stamp on this one. And I think I'm going to stamp it at the top this time. You can stamp anywhere. I am going to show you another card, a couple other cards that were made with this same design, making two cards, and so you can see what some other things would look like. I'm actually going to put this at the top, and then I'm going to do some stamping with some leaves and some blueberries on the bottom, kind of like we did the other one. Let me close this. I'll get my hand in it. So I'm going to stamp the leaf first, do the outline. And we also had a little discussion about if blueberries grow so that they're hanging down or hanging up, and apparently they grow both ways. So we're just going to, oops, let me make sure I get it all on the piece of paper here. There we go. That's the outside part, and I'm just going to do a little ink this one up. This is going to do the inside, and I hope my head's not all over the camera. There we go. And then we're going to put couple little blueberries on there, and then this card is almost finished. You can see that these are pretty quick and easy to do, but they're also very fun. I'm going to do this one the opposite way. Actually, I want to do this one first. I love the little, I don't know what you call them, the little ends of the blueberries where it looks like little flowers. The little spriggy little things, you know, the things that make them blueberries. Ink that up again. There we go. Okay, I am going to put this on with dimensionals just so it kind of sticks up a little bit, because if you've watched me before, you know I love my dimensionals. Of course, I have to find them first. And, well, I had them here a minute ago. Oh, there they are. Going to flip that over. some dimensionals on here. Oh no, this sheet of dimensionals I got keeps wanting to pull both the things off, which is why I have a big hole in the middle. Just not, doesn't usually do that. There we go. Put a couple extra on here because you can never have too many. Oop. There we go. Put my card back over here. So, are you all going to try this, I hope? I'm not sure if you're still watching, but I hope so. Or maybe you're crafting along with me. That would be even better. Of course, this will be up on my, it'll be on the Facebook page. And then I also put it on YouTube, so you can always watch it there and watch it multiple times. And then my little piece of ribbon that I have left over, that I had left, I'm gonna just make a little bow and stick it right on there. Hopefully I'm gonna make a little bow. Here we go. And let me find my glue dots. Just gonna stick it on a little glue dot and then you just pull it right off. The glue dot comes with it. Sometimes you might need to just kind of, so it's not sticking out, just kind of roll it up just a little bit, because this is kind of a very thin ribbon, so you don't want the glue dot to be showing too much and sticking on stuff. I put that right there, and let's cut off some of these ends. They're a little bit long. There we go. And there you have it. There's your card. Flips open just like that. And here's your matching card that opens like that. There you go. 2 cards for one. So I did make some other ones of these. They're a little bit different. So you can, just to show you the different things that you can do. So these, so if you don't have something small, if you just have big words, you can fill up the entire square with your words. This is the Dandy Garden Designer Series paper, and there's that. And I also did some with the strawberries this afternoon. This is how I got red ink on me. This is the same, this is one of the papers that is the same as in this pack of paper. And this is a little strawberries. You can stamp them and cut them out, or there is a punch with another set, and this is the other one. I'm gonna redo this one because it looks like I have, like, I'm not sure what's happening with those leaves, but there you go. So you can see you can do them all different ways, and you know, any stamp set you have, any paper that you have, just feel free to decorate them however you want. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will come back next week. If you like the video, please share it with your friends, or please like it. That's always good too. And I hope to see you next week. Oh, look, I see some hearts floating by. Thank you. I hope you have a great week. These cards and the instructions and stuff are going to be on my blog probably tomorrow. If you want to check that out, it's www.jumpingintostamping.com. And if you want to make a purchase and get the stamp set and the papers, please use my host code when you're ordering. It's KEEBJDNP. So have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed this version of Take 2 Tuesday, and check back next week, and I'm going to have another fun project for you. Have a great night. can't get it to turn off. My phone is stuck here. Oh. What is going on here?